Hello everyone, today's lesson is lesson 12, identifying the time 1 hour ago and 1 hour from now, and numbering a clock face. So if we look at our clock, we can see it's 12 o'clock. So it's been just about an hour since we went to computers. So what time was it an hour ago? Well, an hour ago, I would move my clock hand backwards from the 12 all the way around until I got to 12 again. And as my clock hand would move, my hour hand would go from the 2 up to the 1, because that was 1 hour ago. So 1 hour ago, it was 1 o'clock. Okay. Well, 1 hour from now, let's say 1 hour from 2 o'clock, is when we go home. So if I move my clock around 1 hour, again, the minute hand would go all the way around and back to the 12. And my hour hand would go from the 2 to the 3. Okay. So 1 hour from now will be 3 o'clock. Okay, let's pretend that it is 8 o'clock in the evening. And let's say your mother says that in 1 hour from now, you'll have to go to bed. What time will you go to bed? So since it's 1 hour from now in the future, my hour hand's going to go from the 8 to the 9. And my minute hand will go all the way around the clock and stop at the 12 again. So we know this time is 9 o'clock is 1 hour from 8 o'clock. Right? So let's pretend that now it's 7 o'clock in the morning. If it's 7 o'clock in the morning now and I got out of bed 1 hour ago, what time did I get out of bed? Well, if we look, 1 hour ago would be going backwards in time. So my minute hand would go backwards, and my hour hand would go from the 7 and backwards to the 6. So if I start at 7 o'clock and I want to go 1 hour ago, that would be 6 o'clock. So when we look at a clock, we want to be able to draw our own clocks and number it. So let's say I have the clock here. Okay. And what numbers do we see on our demonstration clock? We have 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then back up to 12 again. Okay. So the number that's at the top of the clock face is a 12. So at the top of my clock face, I'm going to write a 12. Well, what number is at the bottom of the clock face? The bottom of the clock face has a 6. Okay. So we have a 12, a 6. Then on the right-hand side, we have a tick mark here and here. Okay. Well, on the right-hand side, we had a 3, and on the left-hand side, we have a 9. When we number a clock face, it's easiest to fill in these 4 numbers first, because the 12's at the top, 6 at the bottom, and then 3 at the right and 9 at the left. Okay. So now I need to put my other numbers on the clock face. So I need to still put in my missing numbers. Okay. So next to the 12 would be a 1, and then a 2, 3, then comes a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then a 10, and finally a 12. All right, so here I have the time 4 o'clock. Let's draw 4 o'clock. So remember, the minute hand will point up at the 12, and my hour hand is going to point at the 4. And this is showing 4 o'clock. Now, usually on our minute hands, the minute hand will go through the number and point on the tick mark that represents the 12, which is this little tick mark right here at the top. Okay. But the hour hand doesn't go all the way. The hour hand will get only as close as the number. It never goes past it. So the closest you can get is to right to the number. Okay. All right, if it's 4 o'clock now, what time is it 1 hour ago? Well, 1 hour ago, it would be 3 o'clock. Okay. All right, and that's how we draw a clock face and how we tell time 1 hour ago and 1 hour from now. That's it for this lesson. Good luck on your homework.